Another episode, LDP's podcast. Today I'm here with
Avi, what's going on? Avi Wiswer, to be exact.
Avi Wismer, big TikToker, makes very similar content to mine, very motivational, very inspirational, just very he's very obviously, you're going to speak on yourself obviously, but you're very
Right.
passionate about your content. You're
Yeah.
very willing to help others, go ahead, tell a little
So
bit
what I usually do is anything with relationships, motivation, self-love, anything that's inspirational and anything that people need to hear, or that little push, that little kind of that it's okay to chase your dreams. And I just want people to be their best selves, and I want to motivate and inspire millions and millions of people and create a platform that I'm able to give back to the world and leave a legacy.
Beautiful. Okay, let's get right into question one. Why do you think you need to become the master of your own life?
Well, because there's mixed feelings. I think you can become your own master of your life, but you first need to understand what your flaws are. You need to understand what your weaknesses are in life. You need to understand that you're not perfect yet, but you can obtain perfection. And most people think that, oh, you can never be perfect. You can never make mistakes. But I feel like going through trials and tribulations, understanding that mistakes will be made, but as long as you correct them, you're working your way towards being perfectionist. And you're being able to put yourself in a position where you can be the best possible self that you can be. So just understanding that you need to understand your flaws. You need to understand that with the good will come the bad. It's the yin and yang of life. So just understanding that, you can be able to really, really be a master.
Yeah, when I hear becoming the master of your own life, I just immediately think, when I hear becoming the master of your own life, I immediately think when there's a goal that you have, you go and you chase it immediately. You don't think about what he's going to think or she's going to think or what mom and dad are going to think or what your close friends are going to think. Being the master of your own life means what you intuitively want to do, you go out and you do it no matter what anybody has to say about what you're doing. I can tell you, me starting this as a podcast in general, I've received an immense amount of hate from close friends, from mutual friends. And you know what? Oh, Luke's weird, a podcast that's kind of weird, girls like to talk about it, it's whatever. I don't care, because when your back's against the wall, there's only one way forward. You have to go forward. You can't get behind that wall. So when you have everybody in front of you saying, "Oh, he's doing that. That's weird. He's doing that. That's stupid. He's not going to be successful. Whatever." The only way you could go, regardless, is forward. So it doesn't matter what they have to say. It doesn't matter what they feel. None of that is relevant to the situation at hand. So mastering your own life is not allowing other people's opinions of you or what you choose to do with your own career affects you. You might not be the type of kid that needs college to become successful. You might be the type of kid that needs college to become successful. Don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. You don't need to do what everybody else does just because it's the societal norm. Societal norms are what kills us.
Absolutely. And I think there's a quote that Big Sean says in one of the songs I listen to. It was a Russ song, and he says, "Rock bottom is a bottomless pit. You really can't go farther than rock bottom. That's the only thing. When you're at rock bottom, when you're at the bottom, the only place you're looking at is up. And for you to be able to chase your dreams and have that vision, nobody else will have that. So family members won't understand, and you will never be understood throughout your life with trying to chase a dream, with trying to chase what you want to achieve. I remember trying to tell other people that I wanted to be the best motivational speaker in the world. They looked at me like I was side-eye. Still to this day, they looked at me like I'm crazy, or that it's not obtainable, or it's not going to happen. But you need to have the own self-confidence. You need to understand that you need to be your own biggest fan. You need to pat yourself on the back. You need to get yourself through it and believe in yourself with an incredible amount of confidence that you will get it done. And once you set the plan, once you write down, once you plan to execute and take those steps every day, day by day, there's no way that you can't obtain the success or what you want to achieve.
Yeah, like I know a lot of my fellow young entrepreneurs probably are hearing from their parents, from their friends, from other family members around. Why aren't you going to college? Why aren't you doing that? Mom and dad just want to see you be successful. They don't understand that you have a bigger vision. And they can't understand because, you see them and they're successful by their means of life and they live in a decent home. They drive a decent car. They have a decent life. But sometimes you have bigger dreams than just going to college to live a decent life. Some people want economic prosperity. Not everyone is okay with the mediocrity.
Financial freedom.
Everyone wants to build their own financial freedom, but the narrative that's been painted is there's only one way to do it. You go to school, you get straight A's, and you continue going to school. You stay in school. If you want to become a doctor, one thing. A lawyer, one thing. A nurse, another thing. It's understandable. You have to go through the schooling to obtain that specific job. But for my young entrepreneurs that are really chasing a dream and they want to take their time to work, save money, and put it into their goals, do not worry about what anybody else has to say to you because the most successful people get the most hate. They have the most they have the most level of people around them that don't have nice stuff to say. They have a lot of people around them that don't have nice stuff to say because they are too scared themselves to go out and chase what they're doing.
And that's when they place the expectations on you that you're expected to do this, you're expected to go here, you're expected to go there. But in all reality, that's just their expectations. The expectations you set for yourself are really the only ones that matter.
Exactly.
The opinions that you say to yourself, what you say to yourself every day is the only thing that matters. Other people's opinions, you're going to get opinions on others and yourself, whether you turn successful or not. You know what I mean? Even when you're at the top of the world, you could still get hate. You could still get love. You could still get all these other things, but it all starts with you. It will always start with you. And success by other people's definitions, it might be a car, it might be a house, it might be making sure that your family is okay. But success to me is true happiness. And if you have happiness in what you're doing and chasing that every day and you're happy, you're content, whether you make $100,000 a year, $50,000 a year, or just $2 a year. As long as you're happy, that's where the real money is. And we paint this picture that wealth is all these things, these materialistic things, but when you're 6 feet deep, that's not buried with you. When you're 6 feet deep, they can't put the car in your grave. They can't put that house in your grave. They can't put other people in your grave. You're the only person that goes in that grave. So as long as you're happy with the decisions that you made and being truly happy, not chasing happiness, because happiness is something that's obtained. You have to obtain happiness every day by understanding that I can't look to the future. I can't look to the past. By being in this 24 hours, by being in this second, you have no worries. You wake up every day, have a roof over your head, have food on the table. There's really no worries that you really have. So just understanding that being happy is something that you could be able to control really makes all the difference.
Yeah, 100%. And that's another thing that I kind of want to parallel into. Like, don't allow other people's expectations for themselves turn into your expectations. Because I have plenty of friends that are telling me, dude, there's no way you're not going to college. What is wrong with you? What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? And too many of you guys at the age of 18, 25, 30, live the life of what if as opposed to the life of so what if. You need to start living the life of so what if. So what if this happens? I'm going to figure it out because I got me. So what if that happens? I got it. I'm going to figure it out. And that's because I got me. You can't live by anybody else's standards at all. Because if you're living by other people's standards, you're accepting their mediocrity. And by you accepting their mediocrity, continue to live the lives that they expect them to live. And, it's down here. And it's not only economically, it's with happiness, again, because they never set a true, real, obtainable, but also substantial goal for their life. They didn't have any life goal. They had all these little short-term, I don't want to say crappy goals, but 99.9% of people that live in America that have a middle-class family have the ability to go to college and then get a decent job. But not everybody could start a business, run that business, create it to be something hugely, and even if it's not hugely successful, but to create even just a moderately successful business that you're proud of, to never have to answer to your boss. You answer to yourself.
I think that what if is there's extreme things that go on with that what if. Oh, what if it really doesn't work out? What if, it doesn't go as planned? What if it's not really how you visioned it? But you'll never really know if you never try. You'll never really know if you go all in. And for my young people out there, people that are in their 20s, this is really your time to just grind. All that, the relationships will come. The wealth will come. Everything that you want and that you desire will come. Because when you are putting out good energy into the universe, when you're putting out good energy to others, being good to others, and more importantly, being good to yourself, all that things will attract. You will attract everything that you really desire in this life. And trying is something that literally is free. You don't need no bank account to try. You don't need a certain amount of money to try. You don't need a certain amount of people in your life to try. You just do it. And the rest will take care of itself as long as you're on this path, as long as you have this vision and truly work every day to really get it. That what if really won't matter, because that what if will turn to how did you do it? How did you get to where you got to? And they'll start asking you questions, because that's really the thing that you really need to be asking yourself. Okay, yeah, maybe what if, but when it's all said and done and you are the most confident person in your life, the most confident person within your day-to-day, they will ask you, how did you do it?
Yeah. Yep. Because with success comes confidence, happiness, comes all these things. We always hear, money can't buy you happiness. And it can't, but money can buy you comfort. And that is something that a lot of people are seeking. A big reason for divorce is financial issues. A big reason for conflict in general is financial issues. You have these young years from the age, I want to say 17 to 26 is pure grind time. You're pretty much, I'm hoping you're in the prime health of your life, and you have the ability to take everything that you've learned leading up to this and start something for yourself that you could build to where now I don't have to work a day in my life and I'm only in my late 20s. I don't have to answer to anybody. It's my life that I'm living on my terms. And it doesn't get more beautiful than that,
I think I'll even take it a step further. I will say that there's really no timetable on success.
No, and listen, I agree. There's absolutely no timetable on success, but I do believe that your prime years for grinding, and I know it's the prime demographic of people watching my channel right now that are scrolling on TikTok and they're too worried about what does my friend think of me? What does my girlfriend think of me? You could use all this time in your life to really work on yourself and just grind, go get that money, and you, like you're saying, you could do that at any age. Success could come at any age. It could come out of the blue. It could come out of nowhere. But I truly believe that 9-year gap in your life is it's your prime, and you need to go as hard as you possibly can to set yourself up for the rest of your life. If you want to do it optimally, there's always other routes, but
yeah, grind now is just so you can shine later, essentially. Grind now, and the parties, the celebrations, everything that you want to have fun with, that'll always be there, But what won't always be there is the time that you currently have, and you don't want to look 27, 28, 29 on things that you could have done differently and avenues you could have went through and things that you could have done, because that's the main cause in depression, just looking in the past, just really seeking on why I didn't do this or why did this happen the way it did. And the real true way to just get away from all that is really just being here right now and just really wanting to embark on the journey in the current 24 that you got.
Why do you think self-discipline is more important than motivation?
Self-discipline, with self-discipline, you are basically saying no to temptations. You're saying no to parties. You may be saying no to the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever it may be. You're saying no to money. You're saying no to all these things. And by that, you create a routine. You create daily habits. And with daily habits comes success. So what you do in your everyday life and the decision that you choose to make, whatever it may be, will lead to success. Disciplining yourself in what I'm putting in my body, what I'm watching, what I'm feeding my mind, what I'm doing to my physical health. Those steps, day to day, are something that goes an incredible long way.
Yeah. I think self-discipline stays, motivation moves. And that's the problem. Too many of you guys will see a video on your For You page of somebody successful saying something motivating to you, and you'll get a spark of motivation. You'll get the brain chemicals that hit, and you'll say, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go hard." You start doing push-ups in your room at 3 a.m, and you start doing something stupid. Maybe you'll start looking into crypto. Yeah, you're gonna become a crypto millionaire. Listen. Self-discipline is a habit forming way of living. Let me say it again. Self-discipline is a habit forming way of living. When you create certain things in your life that you say, I'm going to do this every single day and I'm not going to shy off from my path because I know that if I do these things, it'll create these kinds of successful habits down the road in bigger and better things. And here are the basic ones. Exercise 5 days a week, brushing your teeth twice a day, making your bed, walking your dog, the basic little things that you make sure that no matter what else is going on in your day, you get those things done. It could be taking your vitamins, whatever. You set your reminder and you make sure that every single day you do it, and you do all those things for a month, and you don't shy away and you don't stop doing it for one day. I don't care if you're in bed half asleep and you didn't brush your teeth for that second time. You better get yourself up and go brush, because if you don't, you're succumbing to the lack of self-discipline, which will affect you in bigger things down the road.
And there's something I really try to live by every day, except one day, because I have a rest day for working out. But I try to feed my body in 3 ways. I feed my body with one. I got to make sure I feed my mind. I got to make sure I'm reading. I got to make sure I'm journaling. I got to make sure that all those thoughts that are cluttered, I'm able to put that on paper, and I'm able to see it, and I'm able to sit, and I'm able to react and kind of change my lifestyle accordingly. I got to make sure that I'm meditating. I got to make sure that I'm keeping peace of mind. I got to make sure that I'm staying right here in the present moment, because oftentimes we go throughout our day, we go, oh, I got to do this, oh, I got to do that. But you can take 5 to 10 minutes out of your day, meditate, pray, whatever it may be. Reading a book is something that I'm also starting to do, and I've been doing for a couple of months now. You have to be able to feed your mind. You have to be able to obtain new knowledge and gain new knowledge, because ultimately your body's like a computer. You have to feed it information. You have to feed it the information that it needs in order to grow, in order to be better, in order to be successful, in order to be healthy. And feeding your body, working out, like he said, 5 times a week, just 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes out of your day. You have 24 hours in a day. You could set 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour of your time working out. By you feeding your body every day with these 3 things, there's no way that you will not be healthy throughout your life. Obviously things happen, sickness is happening, life happens sometimes. But by doing these 3 things, it not only will it be able to discipline you by forming a day-to-day habit, a day-to-day task, but it will also make sure that you're going to be on a schedule and holding yourself accountable. And we need to start holding ourselves accountable for our actions, for the things that we do every day. And health is wealth, in my opinion.
100%. A healthy person wants a million things. A sick person just wants one thing. So remember that, if you have your health every single day, you have something to be grateful for. You don't have nothing. No matter how bad your mental health may be, no matter how bad things may get, you still have you, and by you having you, and by you trusting yourself and the process, and by you trusting that God, I don't know who's religious, I am, and by you trusting that God has a plan, you're staying true to yourself. And that's all you have in this life. Friends will come and go, family will come and go, but all you really have at the end of the day is the man or woman in the mirror, and you need to be true to that person, because if you're not, you're living somebody else's life. Who are you to live somebody else's life? You are you,
You're one-on-one.
You're a one-on-one. You got to stay true to yourself, and you can't, and you could never shy away from that. Why do you think positive affirmations are so important?
Positive affirmations are something that you must tell yourself, because what you tell yourself is really what your reality can become. If you tell yourself that you are going to be the best at something, if you tell yourself that you are going to be good at something, be great at something, you will ultimately believe that. Your subconscious mind will be programmed, oh, I am the best motivational speaker in the world. I will have the best podcast. And ultimately you'll manifest your own reality. And you sometimes see how, rappers manifest their own death by the words that they say, by literally just saying, oh, I'm not going to make it past 27. And look what happens.
They put all that negativity into the universe and they exude all that negative energy. And, it goes back to what goes around comes around. Whoever believes in karma, whatever you may believe in, things do come around. You can manifest amazing things. You could manifest terrible things, and there's always going to be ups and downs in your life. There's always going to be those positive spikes of happiness, economic prosperity, whatever else you may see as happiness. And there's always going to be those depressing times, death in the family, whatever it may be. But if you shy away from keeping positive thoughts in your mind, you're nothing. You're nothing without positive affirmation. Oh, I don't think that employer is going to like me. I know that employer is going to like me because I'm the best person that he could get for that job. I know I'm going to work harder than everybody else for that spot. And I know that he's going to want to hire me. And I'm going to go there and I'm going to kill that interview. Your energy matters, because if you're going in there with all your anxious, nervous, tense energy, oh, I don't know if they're going to like me. I don't know if he's going to like me. She's going to like me. They're going to feel that energy in the room, As soon as Avi came over, we could just feel the positive vibes. Like we're gonna build something good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you put this good positive energy, and when you put it into people, they'll pick up on your energy, and you'll raise their energy, and now you have a group of positive people that are prospering. That's all you could ever ask for.
I don't know if any of you guys have approached a guy, for my male, female, or just maybe watch athletes, watch people play their sport. But I'll use the instance of, approaching a guy or approaching a girl first. By you going and walking over there thinking, oh yeah, this person's not going to accept me. This person's not going to like my energy. This person's not going to like who I am. Then they're not going to want to give you their number. They're not going to want to give you their information to be able to further the conversation or further the relationship. But if you go into that, I'm that guy or I'm that girl, and you firmly believe that as you're walking, you hold yourself high, you head up, walk with posture, and you go over there and you talk with some confidence, you are initially going to get that number. You are going to get that social media. You are going to get that next conversation, or maybe a date, or maybe a meetup, whatever it may be.
And if you don't, so what? So what?
Listen,
who cares?
2 L's, you turn them upside down, they make a W.
Exactly.
You never take no L's in life. It's
Exactly.
only lessons. It's only things that you can take with you into the future. And you could take it with you for other experiences or for other things. And there's no L's in life. It's only lessons. You can only learn lessons.
You could go approach 10 girls, okay? You could go get denied by 9 girls in a row, which, first of all, that's probably not going to happen. But you could go approach 10 girls, get denied by 9 girls in a row. The last girl you end up meeting, you guys click instantly. You could marry that girl. Boom. You never know who you're going to go up to and meet. Stop leaving the ball in, oh, I hope this is going to happen. Oh, I hope that's going to happen. Put the ball in your court. That's the problem. Too many of you guys are living your life without the ball in your court. How are you going to score?
You can't.
How are you going to score?
You can't. You got to be able to know that you're going to score. I don't think LeBron James just thinks, oh, yeah, I'm just going to dribble this. I'm going to, make a move and I'm going to go to the basket. And I'm just going to, hope it goes in. No, he knows that I'm going to go to the basket and I'm going to score.
Because of his work ethic, and he's put the hours in, and he has the confidence to where, okay, I have the skill set. Now I'm going to kill it. You want to talk about a guy with a crazy mentality? Let's talk about Kobe. Rest in peace to him. But Kobe, if you watch any of his interviews, what's there to be happy about? You're up 2 games. Job's not finished.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite interview.
The job's not finished. In life, you have to make sure that you're constantly staying the course, and until something is done in its entirety and it's completed, then you could celebrate. Then you could be happy. I see too many of you guys going out, partying with your boys, partying with your friends, and you're working a minimum wage job that you're not happy at. You're coming home to a family life that you're unhappy with, that you're not putting any effort into change. And you know what? It's sad. It's sad that you live that way. And then on the weekends, you go out and you party the pain away, you know? Let's have a reason to celebrate. Let's have a reason to party, you know? Let's have a real reason to live that way, you know?
I I saw something I really want to share with you guys. Use the weekend to build your life instead of using the weekend to escape your life. Use the weekend to grind and use that to be able to chase your dream instead of escaping the weekend, instead of going out, drinking with your boys, smoking, whatever it may be, and escaping your current reality. Because at the end of the day, once you're off that high, you're stuck with the same problems. You're stuck with the same thing that you were worrying about or angry about in the first place. What kind of sense does that make?
You're stuck with the same people that stress you out because you're too scared to lose the relationship. You're stuck with the same job that you hate because you're scared that you're not going to have an opportunity somewhere else. You know, you're stuck in the same shitty position that, you know, if you try hard enough, you know, deep down inside, you could get out of all these situations and you could prosper. You're allowing yourself to stay in the same position because you're not taking advantage out of the 24 hours that we all have the same amount of hours in a day. Okay, we all have the same exact time gap in a day. Some people may be more busy than others, but everybody has time to work on themselves.
That first step is really the best step that you will ever take, because once you do it, everything else follows in place. Once you take that first step, and yes, it might be scary. Yes, there could be things that go wrong, but if you never take that first step, then you'll never really know. You'll never really see that your life could really change before your eyes.
And it's like approaching the girl. It's scary, but you'll never know how it goes until you go out and you do it. That's why I want a lot of you guys that have these self-confidence issues. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go to the mall, okay, and cold approach as many girls as you possibly can, just for the experience of doing it. And I want you to realize that girls are not these creatures that will bite your head off and yell at you for approaching them. They'll either just say, "No, sorry, I have a boyfriend, I'm not interested," or they'll give you their contact and you'll win. It's not that scary. I promise you. I've done it a million times. I've actually hung out with girls that I've just cold approached, walked up to, "Hey, how are you doing? My name's Luke. What's your name? Oh, what school do you go to? Yeah, I saw you from over there. I thought you were cute. I was wondering if I could get your number." And like that, you meet somebody. You know, stop being so scared to step out of your comfort zone, because your comfort zone keeps you in your comfort zone. And what's in your comfort zone? The same small town, the same shitty people, the same job, the same everything that you want to get away from.
I will be honest. Like he said, approach that girl and just do it. Not too long ago was the first time I've ever approached a girl. And I went with the confidence. I went with knowing that if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And if I get the number, then, you know, I get the number. And I ended up getting the number. So it's really you just putting the confidence, you putting the work in, you putting the confidence into trying to get the number. And that's literally all it is. You know, you get rejected, you move on. You know, it is what it is. But I do want to add that onto one point that you said about getting out your comfort zone. You will always be comfortable in life. But if you get out your comfort zone, that is one of the best things you could do. You're comfortable in maybe living with your parents. You're comfortable with maybe living in the same city that you grew up in. But you have to push yourself out of that comfort zone, because comfort will only last so long. It will only lead to going maybe down the wrong path. It'll only lead to negativity. It'll only lead to things that initially you really want to accomplish. Being uncomfortable is, yes, it may feel weird. You may be anxious. You may be stressed. You may be all these things. But getting out your comfort zone, moving out of your hometown, across the whole country, moving in a different country, whatever it may be, getting out your comfort zone is one of the best things you could do for yourself.
And I'm sorry to like cut you off, I guess, but the best, what do I want to say? I read a quote. It was one of my favorite quotes. And it read, the best things tend to usually be on the outside of your comfort zone. And I can tell you from somebody who has suffered in the past with mass amounts of anxiety, panic attacks, by me exposing myself to all those things that I was petrified of because I didn't want to go through that anxious period, I promise you, by me going through it, some of the best memories that I've ever had and have made in my life have been on that opposite side of my anxieties and my fears, my life, because I'll tell you a little quick backstory. Freshman year, I enter a massive high school coming from a private school. I have a massive panic attack, huge, out of nowhere. Never had anxiety before in my life, didn't know what was happening, thought I was dying. Shortly after, I tried going back to school, and now I realized, holy shit, I have a bad anxiety issue going on. I didn't realize I had all this terrible amount of social anxiety, but it's here. I'm feeling it terribly. I was shaking in class, having panic attacks. I thought I had a heart issue. It was nothing but my own mind, sending me into these fits of panic for no reason. There was nothing wrong with me. It was my own mind getting the best of me. And it was a scary, scary thing. And I overcame the fear of going back to school and having another panic attack by saying, you know what? I'm going to go into that building with the knowingness that I'm probably going to have another panic attack. But I don't give a shit what anybody in that school thinks of me, because at the end of the day, they're not answering to God for me. I am. And I know he'll be proud of me for going back. And I walked into that building and I never had a panic attack since then. Ever. So the best moments are always, always on the outside of your comfort zone. I could have stayed in my comfort zone. I could have stayed home. I could have been homeschooled. But I got out of my comfort zone and I went.
You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because you will be uncomfortable your whole life. And if you want to settle for being comfortable, if you want to settle for that mediocrity, you want to settle for just being average, then you're more than welcome to do so. But for those of you that want to get to that next level and want to get to that next step, you must be okay with being uncomfortable. You must be okay with losing. You must be okay with having everybody leave your side in order to really get where you want to go. You must be okay with losing people. You must be okay with not being okay at times, because sometimes we're just not okay, and as we're on our journey, we're just trying to figure it out and trying to just keep those steps and keep one foot in front of the other in order to really get to where we want to get to.
Avi, I want to ask you, bro, why do you think that the road to chasing success, I don't want to say the road to success, I want to say the road to chasing success is so lonely? Because, once you're successful and you see with celebrities, you see with possibly family members that are successful, once you're up there and once you have it, you have a bunch of support. Oh, let me come on let me drive in your car. Let me come on your plane if you have that level of success. But why do you think the road to success, that lonely journey, is so lonely?
Because you're the only person that believes in it. Especially when you're just starting out, you're the only person that really believes in the thing that you want to achieve. And then when you start getting that success, when you start getting that taste of what winning or success looks like, then everybody that once said that you wouldn't be anything, that once said that you would not make it, that once said that you will never amount to anything, they will all of a sudden reappear in your life. They'll just be like, oh, hey, how you doing? Remember me? And it's lonely because people sometimes they just want a handout. They just want, oh, can I get this? Can I ride it? Can I ride in your plane? Can I ride in the car? But they have hidden agendas. They have hidden agendas within what they want from you. And your trust issues, I'm not going to sit here and say it increases, but you start to understand and really evaluate who you choose to trust.
Absolutely.
You choose who you choose to trust, because you can't trust everybody. Not everybody has your best interest at heart. Not everybody wants you to win. Even the people that you think want you to win, they can really that love is always disguised by hate sometimes. The people that love you the most can really I really hope he makes it just so I can be able to get something out of him. Just so I can be able to say, you know what? I'm his friend. I'm his family member. And that's a shame. It shouldn't be like that, because You shouldn't have to have trust issues within your family, within your friends, within maybe a partner that you have. You should be able to trust everybody, but that's not the case because people just want things to just come to them because maybe they feel entitled to it. Maybe they'd be like, oh, we have history together. But you must choose happiness over history. And you must be able to choose the people that you really want in your life and the people that, you may have to cut out.
I think it goes back to people not being able to see eye to eye with you because of their own failed successes and failed dreams that they never pursued to the fullest. It's all these people that had a backup plan, which, by the way, going into anything with a backup plan is saying, I'm going to go into this, but I'm not going to give it my all because I have this strong, illuminating, dark thought that I'm not going to make it, and I'm going to listen to that thought. When you go into something, you got to go into it head first, because if you don't, you'll never know what the full potential you could have got out of it is. I can tell you that for a fact. You need to go into things being able to take that risk and say, you know what? This could fail, but for the time being, I'm going to go into it with the hope that it is going to go somewhere. I'm not going to listen to my aunt telling me, oh, I don't like this. This is stupid. You should just go to college. I'm not going to listen to my uncle saying that, or my mom, dad, friends. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to, it's those people that are saying it that can't understand it because they haven't done it themselves. They have nobody around them that told them, yeah, you could do that. I'm telling you, I believe that you could have a successful podcast. I believe that you could be a successful athlete. I believe that you could be a successful business owner. I believe that you could chase all these dreams that you've had a dream of chasing since you were just a little fucking boy or girl or whatever you may be. And they shun you because they can't understand it. So until they could understand it, you're going to be surrounded by that shitty reinforcement, you could say, of them trying to say, I think this is better for you. I think this is better for you. The road to success is a selfish road, and you need to be able to cut people off, let people in, and just stay on your passion, because that's the only way you're going to see the end of that dark, lonely tunnel and see the light.
You're an athlete, right?
I'm an athlete, yes.
You ever had somebody that maybe blew out their knee, blew out their elbow, blew out any bone in their body muscle that prevented them from being that person that they wanted to be?
Yes.
People will always try to do that to you in that sense. They will always say, they'll try to be your crutch. They'll try to be the person that, you can hang on if, you don't make it. But your thoughts are merely just an imagination. Your thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts. The things that may come into your brain, they're never your thoughts, because what you say to yourself, what you believe to be your reality, what you believe to be you, will always be you. Those thoughts are really just negativity, just trying to throw you off, just vibrations that are trying to throw you off your path.
It's like the devil and the angel that's on your shoulder. Always err to the side of your angel. You know what I'm saying? When you get the signs that you should do something, do it. When you get the signs that you shouldn't do something, don't do it. I could tell you from experience, it's a negative way of living. But going back to being an athlete and people getting thrown off their game, when you see that kid that's playing first base over you or third base, whatever it may be, for my baseball players, get the kid that's hitting bombs, he's hitting home runs, he's defensively amazing, he's a good clubhouse guy, everyone loves him. He gets injured. Does the backup player like to see him get injured? Of course, he'll never vocalize it, but there's a subconscious level of, okay, but now it's my turn. Now it's my turn to get on. Now I want to get on that field. So there is that level of selfishness that can motivate you and it can keep you going. I don't think selfishness is always a bad thing. I think selfish gets a bad rap. I think selfish is one of those traits that some of the most successful people have, because they have all had the ability to say no. And we talked about that before. But I think that's so crucial and imperative to life.
Selfish to a certain extent. I feel like you should be selfless in some of the actions that you choose, but selfish when it comes to the thing that you're pursuing, you should always be selfish. You should always make sure that you put you first. You should make sure that you're putting yourself first, sometimes before others. And that may sound cruel, but it's really what you need to do sometimes. You have to put yourself first. You have to put your feelings first. You have to put your motivation, your grind, the thing that you're trying to achieve. You have to put that first, because if you put somebody else first instead of your success, you put other people instead of what you're trying to achieve, you'll never really get there.
100%. No, I completely agree. Let's talk about how in life things tend to work out better than you think.
Things always tend to work out better than they expected. And we tend to think that it's not the case. We tend to think that, it's as worse as it can get. It's
Yeah, we always think the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah, but if we just realize that we just become that person with good energy, good vibes, radiating at a high frequency, like I said, we will always attract. We are magnets. Our mind is a magnet. What we think, what we choose to do, how we choose to act, and the actions that we choose to take will attract everything and obtain everything we really want. And when we can understand that the universe and God is always working in our favor, and it's never working against us, the universe will always work in our favor. Especially if you choose to have the good intentions, the pure intentions.
Yeah, like literally, the grass is not always greener on the other side. It's cliche, but it's true. You have to think of your life as a garden. What do you have in your garden? You have a roof over your head. You have you're in a warm house. You have clothing. You have a good support system. You have so many things that so many people would literally die for just to have. And most of us have so many of these things just so readily accessible, and we take it for granted, and we take it for granted, and we take it for granted. And that's why you need to treat your mind and body, again, like a garden. You go into a garden, you could pick all these beautiful things, a tomato, a carrot, a scallop, whatever it may be, whatever's growing. How can you allow negative, dead, toxic weeds, we'll call them weeds, grow in your garden and you not root them out? You can't. Nothing could ever prosper and grow with the dead negativity around it. So with the grass not always being greener on the other side mindset, it's your own negativity. It's your own thoughts growing in the garden, and which are the weeds that you need to pull out, because it's not positive. It's not positive. And anything negative that comes into your life, you have to have the ability to let go. Whether it's a girl, a guy, whether it's a job, you need to have the willingness to put your happiness and your mental health first for anything.
Goes back to you putting yourself first, And mental health is something that's extremely important nowadays. And we must be able to make sure that we are taking care of our mental more than anything else.
100%. Avi, I feel like we covered a lot. I feel like we got real deep, and I hope everybody that watched this could take something away from it. Do you have anything else to add? Just let everyone know.
No, I appreciate you guys listening up.
Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you for another episode. If you loved Avi being here, he's coming back any day. We're going to keep running it, keep filming, keeping the motivation high, keeping the discipline higher. And I hope you guys can become the best version of yourself and just take something away from this. Don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe for more content. And thank you for being here, Brody. I appreciate you. And I will catch you guys next time.
Bro.
Bro, as we're doing this, all I see is like clips.
Yeah!
Clips.
Keep this for draft.